I'm Amanda with Paper Pie, and I'm here tonight and I'm going to show you some of my favorite picks for some of my closest friends and their kids. Why I'm doing this is because our site for Paper Pie is having a huge sale right now for 25% off through Thursday. So if you see this video and you want to shop, make sure to do so before Thursday. The first book I want to show is a perfect one for starting school. So this is one of our Shine a Light series. If you don't know what our Shine a Light series are, is books that have parts in the book where you put a flashlight. So you take a flashlight. We actually read this one tonight because my kids start school tomorrow. And then it shows you some hidden images. It's kind of hard to see with the ring light, but it shows you hidden images behind the page. So this is a really fun one to start. We have so many Shine a Light books on our website and they're really fun because you get to use a flashlight. So make sure to check those out. Another thing I want to show is some of my favorite read alouds. So a lot of people are talking about emotions and going back to school. So I always recommend I'm Almost Always Kind book. It is a book about two sisters who are almost always kind to each other. They have some fights, but the mom and the sisters work out their problems. And at the end, they learned that, you know, what kind is for me, like what I like to do might not be what you like to do. So sometimes I need to think about that and, you know, maybe play that activity with my brother today. And, or maybe with my friend, you know, maybe we'll do that. And because they like to do that, and then we can do my game. So this is a really great story about teaching kindness, and it's great for families. It's also good for going back to school. One series that I love for reading aloud to families is this. So there's 3 books written by the same author. And the first one is The Prince and the Witch and the Thief and the Bears. The second book that came out was The Ninja Frog one. And the last one that came out is Space Pirate Bears. And what I love about these books is that the dad, in the beginning of the books, the kids are always super bored and they're like, Dad, we need a story. And the dad's working, but he pauses his work to then give a story to his kids. It's so cute. And he just has the most fun. The characters are the same throughout all 3 books. They keep adding some as the books go on, some of the characters, but it's just a really funny story and it's interacting between the kids and the dad. And so they're all kind of telling the story together. My kids, like I said, love this series. They love to now make up stories with their dad and mom. So it's a great one to add to your collection. Another one of my favorite read alouds is Billy and the Pirates. She also has different ones in her series. It's Billy and the Beast and Billy and the Dragon. These are also really funny stories about these 2 little characters going on an adventure and saving basically everyone in the story together. It's really cute. They always come up to really silly characters. And the problem always surprises you at the end. You don't think it's going to be that, and it's like a big surprise at the end. So these are really fun books. A really cute one to start, just to have in your home, I think, is Home Sweet Home. This is a nonfiction picture book, so it's going to tell you information about different places and how different homes in different areas of the world might look different. So not only is this book going to share about what they look like, but also location of these homes. So you're learning geography, you're learning empathy for people, you're learning that some people don't even have sides to their house depending on where they live and their culture. So it's a really interesting one to have for nights that they want to learn something with facts in it. A lot of people were asking about beginner readers. So obviously our My First Reading Library is the thing I always recommend. It comes with 50 books, and with those 50 books, you start with learning to read CVC, so like cat, the k, at, and the parent reads part of the book and the child reads part of the book, and then it advances. I would say the skills in the My First Reading Library advance through at least 1.5 years of reading skills. So if you have a little one just learning to read, please look out our My First Reading Library because you can get 25% off, which is a great deal on that. Comes with 50 learning to read books. It's amazing. But if you have the My First Reading Library or you want to see what other kind of books we have, I love our School of Monsters series. This is a really cute learning to read series. This one focuses more on sight words, whereas the My First Reading Library, I would say, would be more decoding. So I really highly recommend the My First Reading Library, but I also love these as a silly alternative. They are short little chapter books, so the kids think they're reading chapter books and they think they're cool. But this one is like Just As a Mess. They rhyme, they are cute, and there's only one sentence per page. So how you start it off is the parent reads part of the sentence, and then the child will read the one word until they can read the whole sentence. So there are a ton of these to choose on our website. The characters are all in school together, so you get to see them interact, and we love them. So if you want to buy all of them, that's a good choice too. And then after that, if they're a little bit more advanced than the My First Reading Library and the School of Monsters, I recommend our beginner chapter series. So this is Hey Jack and Billy Ray Brown. They are written by the same author, and she had a child, actually, her son had dyslexia, and so she wanted books that met his needs, and so she wrote these. Why these are so good is because the font is really big, the words are really spaced out, and so that was very important for her, and so kids don't get overwhelmed. It's good visually for the eye. So I always recommend these as the next step. They're about 45 pages long. They're great beginner books for beginning to read. And then if they're a little bit older than that, we always love for Billy and the Mini Monsters. This is a really funny beginner chapter story. I would say this is closer to like beginner second grade level, depending on what your child is out, but this one is going to have the comics, and they are so funny. So we read this aloud. He's 5 now, but when he was 4, we would read these aloud together, and he loved them. Like, he knew these stories in and out, and I'm excited for him, in a year or two to be able to read these books as by himself. So these are really, really funny. If you have never checked the series out, check it out. If you have like a pre-Ker who wants to start listening to chapter books to help with that more intense comprehension, definitely check out these because they're really funny. If you have older kids, which I know some of my friends do now, it's crazy. I picked out some chapter books to share with you tonight. So this is a newer one that we have, Einstein the Penguin. It's a really cute story. I would say it's about a 3rd grade level, late 2nd, early 3rd grade level. And it's about a little penguin who gets mixed up with this family, and they're trying to help him on his adventure. So if your child likes animals and little adventure, they will love this little book. Another one about animals is a very popular, The Night Animals. This has like spirit animals that helps the character on their mission. And this one I would say is closer to a 4th through 6th grade, depending on where your child is. You can kind of see where that context is, but it's going to be split up into different spirit animals and how they are helping the character. So like part 1, the fox. So every single part would be a different spirit animal. If you are into some adventure, check out Tiger Warrior, Attack of the Dragon King. This is obviously an adventure one. It has illustration still in it, and it's probably a late to 2nd, early 3rd grade as well. If you want something even more adventurous, check out our Epic series. We have a lot of different like adventure type series, so make sure to check these out as well. Okay, and so a lot of friends also asked about learning to read. So 2 other resources that I want to kind of flip back to is our Wipe Clean books. So these are activity books that I'm going to show next, and these all come with a wipe dry erase marker. So Wipe Clean marker, you take this out and you use it on the pages, and you write it here, and then you can wipe it away. Why I love these is because they can be used over and over again. They can, do a page or 2 when you're working on it. So this one is numbers, but we have these books for so many things. So we have letters, we have first words, we have, as you get older, we have some harder math ones. So definitely check out. I also recommended like a get ready to school pack for some of you that has multiple of these in it. So check out our White Clean books if you're looking for some things to do at home to reinforce the learning at school. One of my favorite things I'm going to show next is our newer, probably in a year or two, we've had these, our letters kits. We also have a number kits. These are amazing. I sell these like hotcakes at preschool book fairs. And so what you do is you open it up and it comes with this fun bag of letters. So they have wooden letters inside the bag. Okay, so you can see wooden letters. And it also comes with a whole workbook to work on together. So this just has like handwriting to practice, which I think is great. But then inside is little words. So it's hard to see with my glare. So it has, they could sound these out. They could tap it, and, or, hen. They could tap that out. They could, do the other side. There's more words. They could, these are wipe clean, so they could use a wipe clean pen and, write within the bubble. They could also, a lot of people learn how to read by finger tracing, so they could actually just finger trace it too to learn the letters. That's a great thing to do at home and great skill. What I love about these is these little cards is where you put the wooden letter. So they would put the beginning sound. So you could say key. What is the first sound you hear in the word key? And then they go k, k. And so then you put the K right there. So this is a great set if you have someone learning to read. Make sure that you check out our letter set. I love these, so good. And then what I'm going to end on is two little baby things I found for my friends who have maybe the younger ones. Obviously, our sound books are my favorite. Don't Tickle books, if that's not my books. Always on my wish list for people. But I also wanted to highlight just two very simple board books because babies love board books and they can't ruin them. So if you want to check out our black and white or our very first word books, these are great. So this is a black and white one that you could just talk to them about. Like, let's look at the umbrella. Let's look at the rain falling, and you can tell them what's happening in the picture. But if you look up our, so this is for like a very little baby, but if you looked at my first word one, you would find ones with actual words in that I love for vocabulary. And then we all love our classic Find the Puppy. This is the very first I Spy book that you can get. And you just look at the picture and it says, can you find him on every page? And so you kind of go through the book and you find the puppy. This was one of my first books that I ever got from Paper Pie when we were called Usborne Books and More. And it's just such a classic, and my daughter loved this. And I actually pulled this out today to start reading with my third. And so it's one of our very favorites. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope this is helpful to see inside some of our amazing books. And remember that our website is on sale through Thursday, 25% off if you need any back to school things. Thanks.